welcome to JMC V-Learning program. Now we are going to move to the second part of the lesson, that is in grade 11 English textbook, and this is unit 4 for a better tomorrow. We have completed the first session in earlier part and now we are moving to the second part of this lesson. Let's see what is the topic we have to learn here. Now we are moving to activity 6. And the lesson what we have to learn here is reported speech. Reporting something, speech. Reporting speech. We call that reported speech. Speech is something what we are telling. Here we are going to report a speech that made by someone. Now let's go to the lesson and try to understand about this part. Reported speech. What is reported speech? If we want to use reported speech, if we want to learn reported speech, first of all we have to learn what is it. We use reported speech when we tell someone what another person said in the past. We don't tell the people the things what people say. We say normally not to tell the things what people said, but here it is different. It is not something like gossiping. We are just passing an information. We are just telling or giving an information about something a person said in the past. So here we can see we use reported speech when we want to use reported speech when we tell someone. We are going to tell someone what another person said the past. When someone has said something in the past, now we are going to give that information to a person that the particular person said something like this. So the main speech or the direct speech is already done in the past. Now we are going to report it. That's something someone has discussed in earlier in the past. So at that moment we need reported speech. Reported speech is known as indirect speech. Now if I talk to you something now, if I am telling you something now, I am telling you directly now at the moment. You just imagine after a few hours you are going to your friend or your parents and you are going to describe what I was telling now. So at that moment my conversation or the teaching what I was doing is in the past. Now what I am describing is in the past after a few hours. So when you are going to tell someone that what I have told here now is in past at that moment. So now I am telling you that directly. So I can say that direct speech. But when you are going to another person and when you are telling the thing what I am talking here now is a reported one. You are going to report it. So we call that reported speech. So here the reported speech can be known as indirect speech as well. Directly I am telling something now, later on you are telling that indirect or as a report speech, right. In this session we are going to look at types of reported speech and how to use it. So I said to you, now we are reporting something which is told in the past. So there are some ways of that. We can't use different ways as we want to express reported speech. There is a way of doing that. So we have to go through these rules and regulations. Then only we can make reported speech or indirect speeches using direct speech. Right. Let's go to examples. Here you can see a table. And the table is divided into two parts. This one, that is direct speech. And here you can see the reported speech or we say indirect speech. How to find whether a statement is a direct speech or indirect speech or direct speech or a reported speech? How can you find that? Now you can see here it is a saying, he said, I am happy. And in this part I am happy, it is inside or it is within inverted commas. That means if it is a direct speech, we can see this inverted commas because this was done by or this was made by a person as a saying. When we move to the report speech, we can't see any inverted commas. So from that you can understand, you can get the idea whether it is direct speech or reported speech. If the inverted commas are there, we call that direct speech. When inverted commas are not there, we call that reported speech. And here in reported speech, you can see a word here, that. It is repeated again and again. So we can use that word when we are writing reported speech. When I am explaining about these two sides, I will explain about that in other part. Okay. Right. Now here children, you can see red topics. I have mentioned them in red. These are the tenses: simple present, present continuous, simple past, present perfect, past perfect. That means when we are telling something, normally these tenses are used. Then in reported speech side, you can see I have changed it. Here simple present, I have converted into simple past. Here present continuous, I have converted into past continuous. Then here simple past is past perfect simple here. Why is this? I said earlier as well, we are reporting something or giving a reported speech, something has happened in past. At the past, at that moment it is present according to that time period. But when we are talking about now, that saying is in past. So all the tenses in direct speech we have to convert into another tense. So here let's move to the first one. The first example is given in simple present tense. How we are telling something in simple present tense? Something which is happening for a long period. So here simple present tense example I have given it like he said. Now normally that's how we are starting it. He said, and what he has said I have written in within inverted commas. So I am happy. Now he is saying I am happy. You just imagine one of your friend, he was talking with you in the past and at that moment he is telling you I am happy. So after few minutes, after few hours, you are going to another friend and you want to tell what your earlier friend told you. So how can you report that? The direct speech, how can you report to your friend? Now you can't use present simple because the incident is in past. So when any incident or a direct speech happen using simple present, in the reported speech we have to write that in simple past. Here we have used subject, verb, object or subject, helping verb and object in the present. So the present simple one we have to convert into past simple or simple past when we are reporting that. So how we can do that? First we have to mention the same thing. He said, because we want to say the same. He said that. Instead of using these inverted commas, we have to use that. But it's not a must. Without that word also you can make the reported speech. So however, he said that. Now he is saying at that moment, I am happy. I am happy. Now I am saying I am happy. But later on when you are telling to some person, you can't use I am happy because you are not the person who is happy. I am the person who is happy, so you have to say he to me. So at that time, or he to your friend. So you can say he said that he was happy. This part am or is or are, the present helping verb, we have to turn into past. So what you have to keep in your mind is, if the direct speech is given in simple present, the reported speech we have to give using simple past. He said, I am happy. When you are reporting, it should be turned as he said that he was happy. Right. Now let's move to the second one. If the sentence or the saying is given in present continuous, present continuous, something which is happening continuously in the present. Continuously in the present. So, how we can use that? He said, again inverted commas, I am searching, I am searching. Subject, helping verb. Because this is present continuous, we have to use am or is or are. According to the subject, I have taken I am. So, he said, I am searching, verb plus ing to show that is continuous. So, he said, I am searching for my keys. Here, now he is telling that in using present continuous. So, earlier present simple present one we turn into simple past. So, now you guess and tell me, if this is present continuous, how the reported speech can be given? Yes, the reported speech can be given using past continuous. If it is present, you have to turn that into past in reported speech, very easy. So, here present simple we turn into past simple, here present continuous we have to turn into past continuous. So, he said, I am searching for my key. How you can write in past continuous? He said, we have to tell that. Then he said that. Now you can't use I am because you are not the person who is searching. He is the person who is searching. So you can say he said that he, I am. Am, how to turn into past or the past helping verb? Was. So he said that he was searching for his keys. So can you understand this, students? Here we have used present helping verb in direct speech, and when we are going to the reported speech, it should be past helping verb. Am, is, are should turn into was or were. Then here it is present continuous. I am or he is, she is, it is or we are, like that the helping verb is according to the subject and verb plus ing. Then past continuous we have to turn that into past continuous, then we have to write was or were, then verb plus ing. Now here I have used some helping verbs. Right. Now you just imagine, now I am using a verb. If a verb is used there, it's like I read books. He said, I read books. I read books. So, there is a verb, not a helping verb. Now, how to write in past simple? He said, I read books. How to write or how to tell that in reported speech? He said that he read books. He read books. Here, read. Here, it turns into read. R-E-A-D, same spellings, but we pronounce it as read, past simple. Or if we use present continuous action, let's see, he said, I am watching a movie. Now just guess how to write that. He said, I am watching movie. Now you just turn that into reported speech. He said that he was watching a movie. So likewise you can just turn the present one into past one. Present simple or present continuous into past simple or here past continuous. Right, now let's go to the third one. Let's see if the direct speech is given in simple past, how to report that. Then we have to use past perfect tense. If the direct speech is given in simple past, we have to write it in past perfect tense. Now, he said, I visited Colombo last year. I visited Colombo. Then how to write that in past perfect tense? He said that one we have to show in reported speech. He said that he, because he, at that time he is telling I, but when we are reporting that we have to say he. So, he said that he had visited. He had visited, that is the past perfect. Had plus verb in past participle. So, he said that he had visited Colombo the previous year. Say this one. Here I said last year. When we use the word last year, last month, or when we use last week, those words with last, when we are reporting that in reported speech, we have to use previous year, previous month, previous week, like that. So, here the word last year we have to turn into previous year. So, how we can say the sentence? He said that he had visited Colombo the previous year. Okay, again let's go through this. Present simple or simple present we turn into simple past in reported speech. Then present continuous we have turned into past continuous. Then simple past one we have to write in past perfect in reported speech. Right. Now, if the direct speech is given in present perfect tense. Now, what we can do? He said, I've lived. I've lived means here I means I have lived. This is a short form of I have lived. So, he said, I've lived here for a long time. Here for a long time. Now, he is saying, I've lived here for a long time. Now, this is present perfect. Subject, have, verb, past participle. How to write that in reported speech? As you used in simple past, you have to again use past perfect. Here also you have to write past perfect. So, how can you can make the sentence? He said that part is a must. He said that he had lived. Past perfect, very easy. He had lived. He said that he had lived there for a long time. We used here in present situation. When we are talking in the present situation, he said here. But when we are telling that the same thing after many time, then we have to turn that here into there. So, he said that he had lived there for a long time. So, that's how we have to turn it. Present perfect, we have to turn into past perfect. Now, if the direct speech is given in past perfect, then what we can do? He said they had finished. Subject had, then verb in past participle. He said they had finished the work. Then how we can give the reported speech? Same like earlier, again we have to use past perfect. So, we can write he said that is a must, we have to write that first. He said that they had finished the work. They had finished the work. So, now you can understand. Here I have discussed about five tenses. Indirect, how to turn them into indirect speech or reported speech. First one, present simple, we turn that into past. Then present continuous, we turn that into past continuous. Then the third one, simple past, we convert that into past perfect. Then present perfect one, again we converted into past perfect. Then finally, past perfect is given as the direct speech. At that time we have to write the same thing using past perfect. Right, now this is the first part of the table. Now we are moving to the next part and there are more to learn. Right, now we discuss about present continuous. Here I am talking about past continuous. See, he said, I was playing football. So, he said, and within inverted commas, what he said is, I was playing. I was playing. When you see the sentence, you know that is past continuous. So, he said, I was playing football. Now, if something is there in past continuous, now in past simple one, we convert it into past perfect. Then, if it is past continuous, past simple one, we convert it into past perfect. If it is past continuous, then we have to turn that into past perfect continuous. That's all. Past perfect continuous. So, you must learn how to form that. So, you have to go through the tenses first before you have to learn this reported speech, right? So, here past perfect continuous, how to make it? He said that part is a must. He said that he had been playing. He had been playing. He is the subject. Because of past, we have to take had been, then verb in ing, then it is past perfect continuous. So, if the direct speech is given in past continuous, we have to turn that into past perfect continuous in reported speech. Right, next one. Present perfect continuous. Now, we discuss about present perfect one. Now, if it is present perfect continuous, then what is happening? He said, I have been playing. I have been playing. Subject, have, been, then playing. He said, I have been playing cricket for 3 hours. Then, how we can write the present perfect continuous one in reported speech? You have to convert that into again past perfect continuous, whether the direct speech is given in past continuous or present perfect continuous, you have to turn that into past perfect continuous. So, the example, he said, I have been playing cricket for 3 hours. You can write, he said that, he had been playing. He had been playing cricket for 3 hours. Right. Next one, past continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. If the direct speech is given in past perfect continuous, how to write it in reported speech? We'll see. He said, I had been reading. I had been reading. Children, when we are going through reported speech, as I said to you earlier, you have to keep a sound knowledge about tenses. Then only it's easy for you to convert these direct speech into indirect speech. If you have any problems or questions regarding tenses, you must go through that and clear all the questions. Then it's very easy you to do this direct and indirect speeches, right? Then if the direct speech is given using past perfect continuous, I had been reading a newspaper. He said, I had been reading a newspaper. How to write that in reported speech? Again, we have to use past perfect continuous. So, here he said, I had been reading a newspaper. So, you can say, he said that he had been reading a newspaper. This is a pattern actually. Direct speech into indirect speech or direct speech into reported speech is a pattern. You have to just follow the pattern, then it's very easy you to understand that. Then he said that he had been reading a newspaper. Then you can see past continuous, we turn into past perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous, again we turned into past perfect continuous. Then past perfect continuous, again the same thing, past perfect continuous. Now we are moving to the last one. Future simple. How to express future idea? We know that we can use or we can express future idea using will. So here he said, I will open the door. That is what he said. He said, I will open. I will open the door. Then how to write that in reported speech? Instead of will, we have to use the word would. Then the same thing. He said that as the same flow. He will, not he will open. We have to write he would open. Instead of will, we can write would. So, he would open the door. So, likewise, we can go through this direct speech into reported speech. I have given 2 tables here. You can go through these 2 tables and you can get sound knowledge regarding this. What you have to do is first you have to go through the tenses properly. Then you have to keep in your mind, you have to study by heart how to convert direct speech into reported speech. What are the tenses you have to change? It is very easy, like a song you are singing, you can just keep that in your mind very easily. That is not a big lesson, that is not a hard lesson as you think. It's very easy. What you have to do is you have to practice that. You can use different words, you can use different sentences and you can turn them into reported speech. Because grade 11, when you are facing O-level examination, there can be a question using this grammar part. So, you can go through this, you can keep these things in your mind. We have learnt about reported speech, we learned what is a reported speech, then we have given the explanation about that, and we said that reported speech can be known as indirect speech as well. Then we went through these two tables and we learned how to turn direct speech into reported speech. Right, let's move to the next part of this lesson. Right, now you know about modal auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries. Here I have taken few examples. Can, may, must, will, might, would, could, all those things comes under modals. Now I am going to give some examples and give you an idea if a modal is given, modal auxiliary is given, how to make direct speech into reported speech. Right. If the word can is given, okay, someone has said, someone, I can do it. I can do it. Now how you can turn that into reported speech? He said, you can either use that or without that you can write. He said he could do it. Can, you have to turn into could. Then may. May I go out? May I go out? Someone has said, may I go out? So you can write, he wanted to know if he might go out. May we have to turn into might. He wanted to know if he might go out. May, might. Then must. She must apply for a job. She must apply for a job. Then he said that she must. The same thing, no need to change, or you can write had to. Okay, he said that she must apply for the job or she had to apply for a job. So you can turn must, you can keep that as same as must, or you can write it as had to. Then the last one, we have already discussed this part, will. They will call you, the will, this part we have to turn into would. Then they will call you, he told her that they would call her. Would, will into would. So if the modal auxiliary is there, this kind of modal auxiliary, you can turn the direct speech into reported speech like this. Right. If a place, demonstrative and time expressions is there, how to write in reported speech? We have already discussed this part in the previous table. Now if time is given like this, today, now, yesterday, days ago, last week, next year, tomorrow. If someone is telling in the direct speech using these words, someone is telling something in the direct speech using these words. How to turn them into reported speech? It is mentioned here. Today should be turned into that day in reported speech. I am coming today. She said that she was coming that day. Again you can't use today because that is not today now. That is in the past. So you have to say today as that day. Then now, then. I am coming now. She said that she was coming then. Then at that time she said that. Right? Then yesterday, the day before. Yesterday you have to turn into the day before. Days ago, days before. You have to turn that using days before. Last week, the week before. Then next year, the following year, that is in future. Next year, that is in future, you can write the following year. Then finally tomorrow, the next day or the following day. So likewise, these days, if these days are given, this time are given like this, you have to turn them, convert them into reported speech like that. So you can study this also by heart, then it is very easy to keep in your mind. Then if a place, here we have discussed in that example as well, here you have to turn into reported speech as there, there, right? Then demonstrative, this, these, those, like that. Then this we have to write as that. These we have to turn into those in reported speech. Here we are talking about the direct speech, here we are talking about the indirect speech. So this is the format, this is the pattern of making indirect direct speeches into indirect speech. Now we have went through few tables. what you have to do is you have to go through these tables again and you have to study this pattern, this way, this style again and again. Then it's very easy you to understand or apply reported speech in your day-to-day life, and when you are writing answer for question also you can use this. Okay, now let's move to the activity. Activity 6. Convert these sentences to reported speech. Okay, now the direct speech is given. We have to turn that into reported speech. The invitee said. Now who said that? Invitee said. It's a pleasure. It's. So we have to understand the tense first. It's means present. So it's a pleasure. It is a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It comes in present. It's a pleasure to be here. You can just underline the special points of the direct speech. Now, if the direct speech is given in present tense, how we have to write the indirect speech? We have to turn that into past, as we discussed earlier. So, the invitee said that. Now, can we use inverted commas here? No, we can't use inverted commas now. So, we can write the invitee said that it was. Now, here instead of is, we are writing was. It was a pleasure to be, not here, there. I said you, in the reported speech, we have to write here as there, right? Then, next one. The interviewer asks, should we stop using polythene? Should. Now, here, there is a model, should. Should we stop using polythene? Let's see the answer. The interviewer asks, should they? Again the same thing. You can write this model should as same as we used earlier. Then we. At that time he used as we. But when we are talking we can say they. Right? So the interviewer asks, should they stop using polythene? Right. The third one. The scientist said, I am conducting. Present continuous. You have to first understand what is the tense of the direct speech, right? The scientist said, I am conducting a research on global warming. So, how to turn this into reported speech? The scientist said that part is there. The scientist said that. Now, he is telling I am. But for us, we have to use he. So, this one is present continuous. We have to turn this into past continuous. So, the scientist said that he was conducting a research on global warming. Right. Mr. Soisa said, I visited Singharaj Forest last month. Here we can say I visited. Simple past, I visited. So, Mr. Soisa said, I visited Singharaj Forest last month. He has done this action last month. He was telling last month. Then, how to write the reported speech? Mr. Soisa said that part we have to take. Mr. Soisa said that he had visited. Here it is simple past. We have to write that in past perfect in reported speech. So, he had visited Singharaj Forest. Last month we have to turn into previous month. Previous month. Right. The fifth one or the last one. Mrs. Fernando said, I have been to, present perfect. The direct speech is given in present perfect. So, how to write the indirect speech? We have to write that using past perfect. So, here Mrs. Fernando said that. Mrs. Fernando said that is a must. Then, she had been. So, that we have to write in past perfect tense. She had been to Yala National Park. Now, you can understand how to turn direct speech into reported speech or direct speech into indirect speech. So, you can follow the pattern or the ways what we have learned here, and you can use more sentences and you can convert them and you can bright up your knowledge regarding reported speech, because most probably a question can be there in your O-level examination. So, I hope that you got a proper idea about reported speech. You can go through that again and again again and you can brush up your knowledge about reported speech. Now let's move to the next part of the lesson or next activity of the lesson. We are moving to activity 7. Read the following posters and write the message conveyed by each one. Okay, in your textbook you can see the same pictures, the pictures what I am going to show you here. Let's go to the pictures. Okay, here you can see a picture of the world, and from that you can see a water drop going outside from the world. The world is in your hand and the world is in your hands here. So it is mentioned water scarcity is now the single biggest threat to global food security. What does this mean? Water scarcity, less water. If we don't have water, enough water, it is now the single biggest threat to global food security. Why? If water is not there, can we do the agricultural thing? Can we grow the food? If water is there, it's not there, we can't create or we can't grow our food or our plants, trees, fruits, whatever. So, if water is less or water is scarcity, so we can't find food. So, water, the protection of water is in your hand, then you can protect the world, right. Then, what about this? You don't trash your own home, do you? Why trash mine? So, here you can see a picture of a sea or river or whatever water is there, and a fish, we can see a fish, but you can see some waste, tires, shoes are inside the water. So, now this is their living place. So, if we put all this rubbish to their living area, it's like someone is throwing rubbish to our house. If someone is just collecting or throwing rubbish to our house, can we live there? We can't. So, how can other animals live? Even we can just clean our house, but these animals, are they able to do that? No. So, if we don't put trash or garbages inside our houses, we don't have any rules or right to put to someone's house like this, right. Here, you can see a bulb and the bulb is going to switch off this. Then use low energy, low voltage bulbs. Turn off lights when they are not needed. Make use of natural light in classroom and offices by opening windows and blinds. We know that electricity is something that we must protect, because electricity and water and all those things are the things what we want to live a good life in this world. Not only us, the other people in the world, they also need these things. So, if we have just switch on a bulb, if we no need that, that means we are wasting that. So, we have to use low energy, low voltage bulbs and turn off lights if we don't want that. Not only light, fans, whatever the electric item is, and if we have enough light or the daytime, if we have enough natural lights, it is good to switch off other bulbs and all. Then we can just use in our classes and office rooms, we can use normal natural light, right. The fourth one, share newspapers and magazines, recycle waste papers, reuse folders, envelopes, etc. Now, share. If you have bought a newspaper or something, magazine or something, we can share with others who don't have that. And we can reuse the folders, envelopes and the things, the papers and all, again and again we can use them. No need to collect them or throw them into the environment. So, the picture says about that. Then the fifth one, do not use fertilizers and pesticides excessively, they destroy beneficial soil organism. That means it is not good to add chemicals to the soil. Then the animal who live in the soil and the nutrition of the soil can be destroyed. So, we can just use natural fertilizer, natural manure to put to soil. So, these pictures tell about something like that. So, here these pictures you can see in your textbook and you can get the same idea as we discuss here. Now, we are moving to activity 8. Complete these sentences using the adjectives and adverbs. Here we have to use adjectives and adverbs given, and we have to fill these gaps in the, or we have to complete the sentences. Okay, let's see the words given: natural, soil, global, single, excessively. Okay, right. Now let's go to the sentences and let's fill the gaps. We have to preserve resources for the future. What resources we have to preserve? We have to preserve natural resources. Natural resources. Right. Accumulation of polythene in the environment has become an environmental issue. What kind of environmental issue? It's become global environmental issue. Cutting down trees causes erosion. What kind of erosion? You can see right here the answer is there, that is soil erosion. Then water is precious, we should not waste a blank drop. What is the answer from this? Natural, soil, global, single. Yes, here water is precious, we should not waste a single drop. Right, what is the final one? The monsoon rains were blank heavy this year, and we have the only one answer here. The monsoon rains were excessively heavy this year. So these are the answers in activity 8. You can go through activity 8 and you can do that. Right, now we are moving to the activity 11. Right, what is the topic of that? We can see a text here. Right, you can see a picture as well. What can you see in this picture? Right, we are going to talk about them. Animals on the verge of extinction. Who are threatened, the animals who are threatened in this world, that we were seeing them for many time, long period of this world, and now they are going to destroy or disappear from this world. Now in this part, in this text, we are going to see, we are going to learn few animals who are going to disappear from this world. Okay, here when you see this picture, you know who is that. We call that animal polar bears. Right. Polar bears live across the Arctic in Canada. Here in this animal, they lived in the Arctic in Canada, across the Arctic in Canada. Alaska, Greenland, Russia, Denmark and Norway. So all in these places we can see these polar bears. They are the first animals to be threatened because of global warming. We know that these kind of animals, they need ice or cold to live. But because of the global warming, the ice is going to melt now. Mostly the ice are melt now. Then what has happened to them is they are in a threat of destroying or disappear from this world. They need a cold climate, snow and ice of the Arctic regions to survive. When the snow and ice in the polar regions melt, these animals lose their natural habitat. Scientists say that polar bears are in the danger of becoming extinct in about 50 years. Scientists believe that after 50 years, we can't be seeing these animals. Right. So, let's go to the next one. Who are the animals you can see in this slide? Here you can see lions and here you can see blue whales. So that means they are also in that danger. Right. Lions were wide-ranging animals. In the past, they wandered freely in Africa, Asia, Europe and India. They were living in those areas. Now they are confined to Africa and to a small area in India. Now because less of animals, they just live in Africa and small area in India. Loss of habitat, that means the areas where they used to live. Loss of prey and sport hunting, that means people used to hunt them. Because of hunting them, they have made this majestic animal in danger. Scientists warn that if these activities are to continue, African lions could very well be extinct by 2050. So again, after 50 years, these animals can be disappeared from the world if we are not protecting them and if we are not protecting their habitats. Right. Blue whales. Blue whales live in all the oceans except the polar areas. Right. They live in all the oceans. They have become endangered due to being hunted by blubber and body parts. To take their body parts, people used to hunt them. For this reason, they have been declared protected animals since 1966. So these incidents are not happening just now, they have happened from a long period. Global warming also harms blue whales. Temperature change in water due to global warming may induce migration to wrong places where food supply could be low because of the global warming. They are not able to stay in heaty areas, and after that they are just moving because of the temperature. They are moving to other places where they do not used to stay. So after that, what is happening? They can't find their food, their own food. So it may cause for their disappear. So it is believed that 10,000 to 25,000 blue whales swim in the oceans of the world. Now normally this much of whales are there, but we don't know how long we will be going to see them. Right. Finally, we are talking about elephants. Elephants, world's largest animal on land. They are the animal, the biggest animal which we can see, which can be seen in the land. Now listed as endangered, the same thing has happened to them. The Asian elephant, Asian, so it is related to us as well, which lives in South and Southeast Asia, is threatened due to high human population because we are going to build our houses in their habitat. So that's what they are in danger. So it threatened due to high human population in the region. Forests are decreased day by day due to the cleariness of land for settlements because we are building our houses and we are just cutting trees and we are destroying their lands. The African elephant is endangered mainly due to poaching for ivory. People used to kill these animals to take the ivory. So these animals are in danger. And now here we have a table to fill using those details about the animals whom we discussed. Right. Here we can see a summarize. Those 4 animals are here and habitats where they live is mentioned here and the reasons for it being endangered. Right. We'll see polar bears. They live across the Arctic in Canada, Alaska, Greenland, Russia, Denmark and Norway. And why they are in danger? Threatened because of global warming. Right. Then what about lions? They live in Africa and to a small area in India now. Right. And what is the reason of that? Loss of habitat, loss of prey and sport hunting. Then blue whales in the oceans, we can see them in the oceans due to being hunted for blubber and body parts. Right. Then finally elephants, they live, we are talking about Asian elephant, South and Southeast Asia, we can see them there due to the clearance of land for settlements, agriculture and development projects. They are in danger. So we can get the summarize of this text as this, and let's move to the next part of the lesson. Right, this is the final part of this lesson. We have given some words here and we have to join that with this meaning. So match the word with their meanings. That's what we are going to do here. Now you can see the words like global warming, natural habitat, extinct, endangered, poaching. Right, here you can say, see, threatened with extinction, no longer existing or living, the illegal hunting, killing and capturing wild animals, the natural environment in which a group of species lives, the increase of the Earth's average surface temperature due to the effect of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide. So, two sides are there, and what we have to do is we have to match this. So, what we can do is we can just write the number in front of the correct line. Okay, what is the meaning? Where we can find the meaning of global warming? Yes, try to find the meaning of global warming. Okay, here you can see that the increase of the Earth's average surface temperature due to the effect of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide. So, we can call that global warming. So, here we can write number 1, or you can just match it. Okay, right. Then natural habitat. What is the meaning of natural habitat? The natural environment in which a group of species live. So, that is called natural habitat. So, we can write number 2 here. Then extinct. What is the meaning of extinct? No longer extinct or living. We can't see them no longer in this world. Right. Endangered, threatened with extinction. Right. That is called endangered. Then poaching. What is that? The illegal hunting, killing and capturing wild animals, right. So, you can match it like that, or you can just match using line. So, here we have come to the end of the lesson. We have completed our 4th lesson in unit 4, grade 11. Now, in the next chapter we are going to discuss the next lesson in grade 11.